All right, so here's what we're gonna do for this one. I'm gonna take one yoga block and I'm just gonna leave it out here and have it handy. I'm gonna take my other arm, I'm gonna rest my forehead on my arm like this, and then I want you to take your opposite side fingers and place them on your collarbone again. So again, not on top where it feels soft, not on bottom where it feels soft, but right on the bone, okay, so that you can monitor that for me. And you're gonna need to adjust this block such that when you have your hand on your low back at whatever angle you can, so again, down on the hip if you don't have as much shoulder IR, coming up if you can, that your elbow ends up on that block for me, okay? Now what I can do is I can rest my forehead on my arm here. I'm probably not going to for a lot of this, but I would like you to, just so that you guys can hear me speak a little bit better. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna repeat some of the same stuff that we did earlier, but we're gonna be as strict as we possibly can with this. So we're gonna isolate the component of a shoulder swimmer where you're doing an IR liftoff, which means I'm gonna try to lift my hand off of my spine, but only by rotating my shoulder, okay? So not by using my shoulder blade, which would be this, but actually just spinning my upper arm like a rotisserie chicken to get my hand off of my spine. So your fingers on your collarbone will tell you if your shoulder blade is cheating for you. You having your elbow pinned on that yoga block helps to make sure that that upper arm is just spinning and your shoulder blade isn't moving around in space. And then you're gonna try to, keeping that collarbone and shoulder blade pinned back, keeping that elbow on that block, you're gonna try to get your hand off of your spine just by spinning your upper arm. So as you can tell from me in this position, I can barely leave my spine. That's okay. You want to get it almost as light as you possibly can on your spine, and you can adjust the angle, like I said, as needed. If you need to come down a little bit lower, you can. But I want you to try to adjust this block as needed, or you can use another object if you need so that it's a slightly different height, so that you've got something keeping your elbow accountable. You've got your fingers keeping your collarbone, i.e. your shoulder blade, accountable. And then we're gonna try to do 10 liftoffs together here. I don't care if those liftoffs are a centimeter or an inch. You just do your best in this position. So we're gonna go through it together here. Like I said, I would recommend just resting your forehead on your forearm, but I'm gonna keep my face slightly elevated just so I don't blow out the microphone on you guys. And let's roll through this here. Step number 1, I want you to bring your shoulder blade back. You're gonna notice your collarbone shifts away from the floor. Try your best to keep it there. And then you're just gonna try to spin your upper arm inwards to get your hand off of your spine if you can. And then you're gonna parachute back down. We're gonna go for 2. Rotate that upper arm inwards, hand comes off, slowly lower. Try to keep your wrist from bending as well. I should mention that. Try to keep it nice and rigid and straight. Rotate that upper arm, parachute back down. Lift off, parachute back down. Lift off, slowly lower. Don't let yourself crash back down onto your spine. Nice soft landings, lift off, parachute down, lift off, just spinning that arm, nothing else is moving, slowly lower. Give me 3 more, not gonna lie, lost count. Internally rotate, hand lifts off, parachute down, 2 more, internally rotate, hand lifts off, parachute down, last one here. Try to keep the collarbone still, try to keep that elbow in place and just spin that upper arm to lift off, no wrist bend, and parachute back down.